And 3, 2, 1, boom! And we're back to another episode of Socratic Gamers. This is Socratic Dialogue. We're actually going to talk about Black Mirror in the beginning, but then we're kind of like, "Yo, was there anything really good in this season?"
No.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I fell asleep during the second one.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was up for all of them. I watched it all. But
What'd you think? What was your overall impression?
not that good.
Yeah, I know. I feel like they're kind of falling off, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I'd still watch it because you're just hoping for like good episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just happened to be that these three were not good. That's all. I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, I felt like the last one was like very cookie cutter. Like there was no like
The last one?
the last episode with Miley Cyrus. I was like,
Oh,
of
the
course
last
it would
episode.
end like this. Like
Oh, yeah.
a happy, you know. If she had died or something, that would have been like
Yeah,
real
yeah.
Black Mirror. But then she was like
That's
in
the
a
thing.
band at the end. I was like, okay, this is like Disney
Right,
now.
right.
It was like Disney with swearing.
Right, yeah.
You know, like they gave Miley Cyrus a potty mouth.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it felt like...
but then it ended with a Disney way.
No,
so I was like, what?
No, the funny thing is, like, it's kind of like her... It was like her career like that, sort of.
Oh, so she was like telling her life?
Yeah, right?
I guess. I don't know.
Because she
Maybe.
couldn't say stuff when she was with Disney.
Oh, true. So you think she's just rebelling?
No, I'm just saying, like, what happened in her career was kind of similar.
Yeah, I see. No, yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's what I was just saying, yeah.
True.
So that's probably why they picked her.
You know, her father, you know the song Achy Breaky Heart?
No.
Wow, really, eh? All right.
I don't know. I don't remember names of songs. If I hear it, maybe it'll like trigger a memory.
To my heart, my achy breaky heart.
Sure, whatever.
No?
Maybe.
Wow, all right, true.
I'm just saying maybe. Possible.
This is a perfect segue into our actual topic,
Oh.
which is social clusters. Can people live in cities?
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I guess really the case in point there was I was gonna be like, wow, like I guess it was just how you were brought up. You weren't as exposed to certain things by comparison to like other people.
Maybe.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you ever eat Kraft dinner as a kid?
I think I had once or twice. Like, I didn't like it.
Yeah, primarily, what did you eat in your home?
Mainly Indian food.
Yeah, yes. And I mainly Filipino food, but I did not like it, so they would give me like Western food. It was like Kraft dinner and hot dogs.
Oh, it was more my brother that's asking for like Kraft dinner and stuff like that.
Oh, really? He was into that stuff?
Yeah.
He was born here?
I was born here. No, he was born in India.
Okay. It's kind of weird. Weird switch. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
So it really got me thinking. It's like, can people actually live in cities? Like, you've been to... It's like, what is a city? A city is like a bunch of people that have collectively come together of different cultures trying to cohabitate in a space.
In the, I would say modern cities, like in Western world cities, because there are cities.
True. Yeah. Okay. Touche. Okay. Can people live in Western cities?
Right. A multicultural.
There's perfect. All right. The real question here is a multicultural city the best thing?
Is the multicultural? Well, in some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I guess. What I mean by that is like the options for food become an abundant choice.
Yeah. True.
If you were into food, right?
You know, that's funny. You know, like globalization, how they bring like different products from around the world.
Right.
They said that that's specifically because of immigration. I was reading this food book, and they were saying like how without immigration you wouldn't have globalization. But it makes sense because these are the people going around. But it's like you never think about it like that.
Yeah.
You know, like because then like it was a certain type of food, and then all these like Koreans started moving into an area, and then all the food switched. You know what I mean?
Right. See, what also happens in cities, I mean, it's a mixed bag, right? Like, so, in the city, generally, yeah, you'll find different kinds of things to eat from different kinds of places around the world, right?
Yeah.
But then where people live, what tends to happen is people stick to
They're
They're
clusters.
clusters. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Like, like when they think of Brampton, what do you think of?
Brown people.
Yeah. What has it turned into, the name? Browntown, right?
Really? Oh, I didn't
I
know
don't know.
that.
I
That's
don't
so
know.
funny.
I thought so. I heard that
And
somewhere.
then
So.
Mississauga's like Asian people.
Yes.
Richmond
Yeah.
Hill's also Asian people. You're
Or
like,
rich people. Richmond
Richmond
people.
Hill. Ah, true, true, true. And then I was driving to where was that place? Remember, it's like close by.
Jewish, like.
Yeah, but I forgot. Vaughan, was it Vaughan?
I think maybe, yeah, like close to York. I think the York University, was it?
Yeah, but and like my
Like that area is all like Jewish.
I was so surprised because I'd never seen this before. Like I was driving with the GPS and then it brought me there and I was like, what?
Right.
Like I did not see this cluster before.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you could
yeah.
find like little hubs
I
around.
mean, I
like,
haven't even
Toronto.
seen that myself. It's just like, where are they hidden at?
Yeah, it's craziness. But like, okay, so then this is the real idea about multiculturalism. Like it works when it works, but like more often than not, it brings out some sort of racism. Because how can you have racism in like Asian countries where it's like, or like European countries, or like, so like the West is kind of like the stomping grounds for all races. You know what I mean? Like if you go to
Yeah.
Europe, it's just like European people primarily.
Right. Yeah.
If you go to like Asia, it's primarily Asian people, et cetera, et cetera. Although this is changing, but like the global stage is the West.
Right.
You know, and you have like all these different cultures trying to like cohabitate.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's like you have different cultures. And then you're like, oh, ignorance, you know, like, or then some people are like, oh, you should just like amalgamate to our, like, it's like, they have that rule now, or that growing rule about the hijabs. And they're like, you can't wear it or something like that
And
for TSAs. And then they're like fighting back. And like,
Yeah.
this is not a judgment call on that. Like, but it's just like, these are the things you're going to run into.
Right. Right.
You know, it's like, do you like assimilate or do you just go back to where you came from? But where you came from is not good. So it's like, okay, we're seeking asylum in the West, but then what are the rules we got to follow here?
Yeah.
Do we have to follow the rules? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas like, I remember when we were a kid, this was like this still stick with me, but like we were talking about melting pots and mosaics.
Yeah.
And like Canada is a mosaic.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Remember that? Yeah,
Words
or like
used,
civics,
yeah.
right, or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I was like in elementary school, and like they said, like Canada is a mosaic because it allows you to be who you are, whereas like America is a melting pot where like everyone's got to become the same.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like,
I mean, I don't.
Which is better?
Like, how do we? I don't know. Why isn't America more like mosaic? Why not? I don't understand.
I don't know. That's just what I remember as being a kid.
Maybe
Like, maybe it's changed.
Maybe it
I don't know.
changed. Yeah. Maybe it changed. Yeah.
But like, yeah.
No, I'm like. I mean, there are positives and negatives, right? Like, but. I mean. Sometimes, like a lot of times, these things. Why even have immigration is also. There are jobs that just won't be filled by the local community. Like.
Yeah, that's why you have to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you need to get people from outside of this country, right? Like that's the immigration to bring them in.
Right.
To fit certain jobs that your own community isn't prepared for, or you know what I mean?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
Like has skills for that kind of stuff, right? So,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense why we have it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, is it the best? Or maybe these are the growing pains. Because like I started to think, you know that joke like Russell Peters, like in the future everyone's gonna be like some sort of tan,
Right.
because like all the Asians and like the Indians will like merge into one, and then you'll have like one color. Maybe that's like where we're headed.
I think we're headed there. It's just going to take some time to get to that. Like, because you're still bringing in people from outside, right? Like, when you have your own stable, like population,
Right.
I don't think you can really bring in people then by that time, right? If there's not.
No, right, totally. But what I'm saying is like maybe the race of the future, like in 1,000 years, will just be one race.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'll be a
Like-
mix. Yeah, it'll be mixed.
And then we'll have like all these different like cultures and customs that'll be understood and accepted. Maybe like racism is like the growing pains.
Or it's not about cultures being understood. I think it just the cultures change. Like it'll become a different type of thing. Like you're gonna have to adapt to the local culture that's here. Like
Right, I see what you're saying. That right? Okay, so you
that
come
includes like other things in, right? You take the good stuff, kind of thing.
so totally. So like, let's say you have like
Mm-hmm.
like a Caucasian person, and then you have like an Asian person, different cultures, and then the race of the future will be like in 1,000 years, it'll
Yeah.
have both customs.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
or at least it'll be like understood as to, or it'll have like new customs. You know,
Right.
they'll
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
like, because how can you be? It's kind of weird, although they do find it. Like human species is interesting because it's like you don't really have racism in like places with the same kind of
Race?
skin
Okay.
color.
Yeah.
But like you do have like racism in terms of religion. Like-
Religion, I think even probably.
No, but like you know
Okay.
in
Yeah.
what was that movie where like the Africans were like killing this
Like in Rwanda.
Rwanda, yeah. Hey,
Okay.
thank you. So like that's a good example because it's like you're all the same skin color, but you'll find a reason to create in-group, out-group
Yeah.
mentality.
Yeah.
So it's maybe we can't escape it.
I mean, even in that, it was kind of. I think. I mean, it's even some areas where it's more like also like light-skinned black people versus dark-skinned. Like,
Yeah, so they're
that's
just
kind
gonna
of-
go against like tones of color now, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So so you think like racism will always persist?
I think there will be some sort of hatred still there. I mean, it's not like as it used to be before, right? It will probably be less, but it'll still be there, even if it's just minor.
True. Actually, you know what? All right. So, do you see that thing I saw on my social feed that happened at Canada's Wonderland?
No.
There's these girls, these like Muslim girls with their like hijabs, and this white dude was like being like super racist towards them, and then somebody caught it on film.
Okay.
Like they were like shouting at each other, and I was like, would this happen? Like the only reason why this is happening is because of like a lack of understanding and education. You know, and when you say like it'll always be there, it's like you got to think about a person's upbringing.
Yeah.
So it's like that person who's like acting in that manner, they're going to like foster children who are going to harbor the exact same like belief system.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what you're going to be brought up thinking.
Yeah.
You know, like your mannerisms will be the same. Even if that kid like educates themselves past their own parents, it's like you're still going to have that like subtle bias, and then it's going to take generations to get rid of that. You know, because like that kid is going to like grow up and he'll be like, oh, my dad's a little racist. And then like that kid's kid will be like, oh, grandpa's racist until
Right.
like grandpa dies.
Yeah.
But it's like, what if, like, what about the ones that are like, my dad's not racist? It's like, this is how the world works.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like,
I mean, sometimes like like even now, like there has been an increase in racism too, right?
yeah, okay.
Like the rhetoric that's being used is like whites will not have any power in the Western world, so like that kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Like that's the reason is like.
Oh, that's why
for-
you need to keep your like your
There are reasons for like Trump and stuff like that. Like there are some people that would think like that and vote like that.
pause. Did you see that Trump and Kim Jong Un thing?
Yeah. So.
And then I was like, so I'm not paying attention at all to the media. And then I saw it in the store. Like me and my sister were eating, and then she's like, "Oh, do you, like Iran might go to war against USA or something?"
Iran won't go to war against USA. US wants to go to war with Iran.
Oh, okay, all right, so whatever. So like,
Sorry.
okay, true, you're right.
Yeah.
But then it's like, are you building allies? That's my first thought. I was like, why are you doing this?
Who?
You know, like
America?
Yeah, either a publicity stunt or like,
Oh, with North Korea?
yeah. And is it North Korea with Russia?
They are allied with Russia. Yes.
So then it's like all that talk about like
But
Trump
in
being with
the-
Russians. It's like, okay, maybe there is something there.
But also, I don't think that's really something that's there. I don't really think so. Because if he does go to war with Iran, you know who Iran's allies are?
Saudis?
No, Saudis
I
hate
just
Iran.
said that. because they're
America loves Saudi.
powerhouses. All right, perfect. All right, go ahead.
No, Saudi and Israel hate Iran.
Okay, so who's Iran's?
Allies are Russia and China.
Oh, interesting.
I believe it's China, yeah. So, and it's not like a easy thing. Like there could have been a start of war recently.
Okay.
With Iran shooting down their drone,
Okay.
America's drone.
Okay.
So like, but then Trump decided not to attack them.
Interesting.
Because if it did attack, it's not like as easy as Iraq. Iran is a much more stronger country.
Right. Plus they have allies.
Plus they have allies. It could be worse.
Honestly, like.
So I mean, Iran doesn't want this. They don't want a war, right?
Right.
Like a lot of this thing is happening. So this rhetoric of, like, this is what I meant by like false rhetoric. For instance, like the Iran deal.
Okay.
And then using the rhetoric that, we're giving them money, or saying falsely that this Iran deal gives them use of nuclear weapons or something.
Okay.
But that's not true. The whole point of Iran deal is so they don't touch your nuclear stuff.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. To like
But-
create peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like these sort of rhetorics can be used in a sense that seem like, you know what I mean, like for, these people are taking your rights away, or you're gonna lose. You can't.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
So
But that goes back to like an education thing. And like,
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, the biggest educational piece is to realize that you have like gangs
yeah,
of like countries are run like either a gang or a business, but businesses are gangs.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying? It's like they're all the same thing. It's like it's all about maximizing profit and power, right? You want to
Right.
be the top dog,
yeah,
right? Shout out Top Dog Entertainment, Kendrick Lamar, you're the best. But like you know, we don't realize this, and we think like, our country has our best interest in mind, and maybe it does, but it's like more about like, yeah, it has your best interest in mind because you're a part of the gang.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's sort of like being like a Crip, you know, and you're like, I'm a Crip, and like even though we do bad things and like okay, so if I'm a Crip and then I go and become like a Blood,
yeah,
right? Do you still have my best interest in mind? No, you don't, right? Because I switch teams.
yeah,
That's what treason is.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's what is treason except for you're fighting for another team. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And it's like these are like that's why 50 Cent made it so far with that book, like the 50th Law of Power. It's like, what does he know about business? He knows a lot about business and politics.
Right.
You know, and that's why I really loved studying like rap music when I was in business school. Not because of like, well, it's like it's got so many elements of business within it. Rap music, it's like bravado and like tactics.
yeah,
You know, like 50 Cent's song like Many Men.
yeah,
You know, it's like many men wish death upon me. But it's like, yeah, all business wishes death upon you. You know? Like if you have a competitor, they want your profit.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like we don't look at it in this way because it's not nice to look at it in that way.
right,
You know, we all want to think like things are good. You know. But that's like everything. Sports teams, bands you like. You know, like I was at the mall and I saw like so many people wearing like that championship hat,
right,
and I'm like, you automatically get inclusivity, right? It's like you wear the hat, bro, we champions, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
okay, but I don't know you, but because you're rocking the same flag as me, we're gonna be like, okay, we're cool. We have like an unspoken bond,
right,
you know?
yeah.
That goes back to like racism too. It's like, can you hack that? You definitely can hack the system of racism.
Yeah.
You know, because what is racism except like it's a social heuristic. So a heuristic is like a guess. You're looking at something and you're making an inferred guess on what that thing is without actually knowing. It's an assumption,
Right.
right? But like certain things we're all racist. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, really think about it. Like, we all do these things.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you see, I made this story post. It's like funny. How come a group of guys walking in a dark alley always looks ominous?
Mm-hmm.
And then dot dot dot. Even though we're out here catching Pokemon.
Right.
It's true though.
Yeah,
I was walking, I was like, yo, we look kind of freaky right now. So what I did consciously is like I pulled out my phone, had the battery pack, and I was like acting really dumb.
Okay,
like,
okay.
oh, I'm just catching this Pokemon.
I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then like I remember
it's not like it's not racist by race, but it's more just like
just heuristics,
yeah,
guesses.
Yeah.
Because that's what racism is.
Yeah.
Social heuristics.
Mm-hmm.
But you have heuristics about products.
Yeah.
Heuristics are just guesses.
Okay.
But you put social in front of it because it's like in a social setting, I'm making guesses.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But that's how our brains work. If you had to actually like, but that's the importance of heuristics. It's like you can't spend all of your time finding out all the pieces of information.
I mean, yeah, you generally no one's going to do that.
Nobody's going to do it. How you would spend your entire life like like learning about things before, and it would take you forever to make a decision.
Right.
But we make snap judgments all the time.
Yeah.
So like, okay, this guy's swerving on the road. You're like, is he swerving because he's drunk? Am I in danger? These are all guesses.
Right.
Inferences. But
Yeah.
you don't know if they're real. You're not gonna like honk, pull over. Hey, sir, are you drunk or are you good? You know. But you're making the snap racist judgment of like, okay, this person's doing this. He must be like this.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm going to. It's like a defense mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like, but then it goes back to like, are these things incorrect? Like comedians, one of the things is like, I love comedians because they can say things, and as long as it's funny, it's okay. So Joe Coy's new stand-up special, so racist, but it's not racist because it's funny.
Yeah.
They're just joking, or they're just having a lighthearted time. But if you look at it like the actuality of it, it's racist. But it's like, it's true. I'm watching these things, and then they're saying these things about Filipino people. I'm like laughing so hard. Why are you laughing? Because you know it's true.
Right. I mean, that's the whole thing of Russell Peters too. Right?
Russell Peters, perfect
that's
example.
His main thing, right?
But it's like comedians get a free pass.
Yeah.
If I can make you laugh, it's okay. You know, I'm not saying comedians shouldn't be like, I don't like, it goes back to Nietzsche's line about like beyond good and evil.
Yeah.
Like what, these are just thoughts in your head, like paradigms, like ideas, paradigms, ideas.
Yeah.
But like, it's like at the end of the day, it's just an idea. So it's like, to harbor a racist thought is just, it's like, is the drug bad or are you bad? Two people can take like acid, and then one person jumps off the roof and then one person doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it was just like the drug was doing its thing. You were the one making meaning out of chaos.
Right.
Because that's what the mind does.
Yeah.
You know? But that's also what social heuristics does. It's like you're seeing something, you're making a pattern. You know? So like upbringing is super important.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, because like how you bring someone up. All right, one of the biggest thing is like, I find this so funny when like they're like, my kid's gonna be like this, but then it's like, but you yourself need to be that first so you can be the exemplar for the kid, or so the kid's gonna resent you in the future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like think about how many times your dad's like, I love using this on my dad. Shout out, Dad, I love you. If you're listening to this, love you so much. But he'd be like, you need to study hard. And then I'd be like, why? You didn't do well in school. Anyway, it was your mom did though. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, I'll study hard because mom did. But like, you can't tell me that. You know?
Okay.
But like, I do listen to my dad for like martial arts. He's like, okay, boy, I used to tie a rubber band against a concrete pole and just punch it. And that's why I have arthritis now. And I was like, okay, I'll listen to that.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell me things about that, but you can't tell me things about studying. You know, because like you didn't do it. So like, before you educate your kids on being not racist, you yourself have to be not racist first.
Right.
Or else you're propagating it's like when they say be the change you seek, that's really what they're talking about. You know, because it's like you can't change anyone. You can provide a good example.
Yeah.
And then people can choose to take it or they don't want to take it.
I mean, that's the best way to start it off anyways, right? Like to be an example, like then, I mean, they can learn from that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
You're a living teaching.
Yeah.
You know? it sounds so spiritual, but it's so like when you put it in that phrase, like you're a living teaching. You're like, oh, it's a guru moment, but it's like,
Right.
no, not really. It's just these are just basic principles about life. The big mystery about like spiritual teachers is like, you know, they say like, oh, it's all common sense, but not everyone studies common sense. That's literally all. That is the truth. It's like
Right.
they just spent their time thinking about things that are like, this actually makes a lot of sense. Yeah. You know, like, be the change you seek.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah. I wonder where we're gonna like end up. I really do want, like, obviously I won't live to see it, but like I wonder if in 1,000 years we'll still have. Well, we must, because like we're doing the same thing still. Like, think about like it'll be the same thing but in a different form.
Right.
It's like we still have coliseums, we still have theaters, we still have ways to entertain ourselves. So for sure, if it's a human impulse, we're gonna have racism.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's-
yeah.
No. Yeah, no, you're right.
But the big question though is like going back to it is like, our cities, I guess, thinking about it now, they're just the growing pains, but it's like it just seems so like bad to want to live here.
It seems like that, but then you gotta really, I guess, take it in full picture. There might be some bad things, but generally, is it a good thing?
Yeah, on the whole,
the
it's
whole,
good.
yeah.
But like what I'm saying is like, that's why they created these social clusters, because
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's great to live in this city,
Yeah.
but like I'm gonna stick to my group still.
But then
because,
I
like,
think with social clusters, it causes more.
It does.
In my
More
opinion, because
risks.
then you don't really get to learn about your neighbor.
totally,
Right.
yeah, 100%.
Like
But
I-
yeah,
But then it's just not gonna happen. Like I want that, but it's not. That's not gonna happen. Like people are gonna gravitate towards things that they know or they're comfortable with, around people that are similar to them.
for sure, and it's not. I don't think it's a negative thing. I think it's like it's a survival mechanism.
Yeah.
Like when I see that,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
when that person was being racist to those like Muslim girls at Canada's Wonderland. I'm like, you have expressed this because you feel threatened in some way.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, I don't overtly exhibit racism towards other people because I'm not threatened by you. You know?
But I mean, sometimes even law goes into that too. Like I don't know why France is very adamant about not allowing them to wear those kinds of like full cover in.
It's something. It's like a security
Pool,
reason.
like-
Security reason.
No, but it was like a swimming pool, and they can't wear
Oh,
those sort
that's
of
weird.
things. I don't know why
Maybe
they're
the
going
material's
off on
gonna
that,
get in
because
the
they
pool,
some ladies got arrested in France wearing that in a pool.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Oh.
so like it's like a law in France. Like,
But do you think it's like a utility reason? It's like the lint is gonna clog up our.
I don't think
I don't
so.
know. I'm
I
just
don't.
saying,
I don't think
trying
they
to-
had a legitimate reason to. I don't know.
They're just exhibiting racism.
Yeah, or it's like it's not. Oh no. It was more like this is not French culture. I think that was like what a lot of people were saying.
Right. So it's like,
But then
where do you draw the line on everything? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
that's why we have like things like Foxkin right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have trolls affecting the system. Like if you know what I do about what I'm talking about with the Foxkin, like the guy put a fox hat on and he's like, I identify as a fox. He might have been serious. I think he's trolling.
Right.
So it's like, where do you draw the line on that?
Mm.
You know, it's like, it's a hard world. I think if people don't realize that, like, beyond good and evil, like Nietzsche was so correct. It's like, it's all in
The
your
game?
head.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's all in your head, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, do these things really hold any weight?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
And they do, but they also don't. You know what I mean? Like, I want to qualify the whole thing about exhibiting racism overtly. I actually do, because sometimes, like, if I see like a group of like gang-looking gentlemen, I'd be like, oh, wait, that doesn't look very safe.
Right.
Let me go this way.
Yeah.
You know, or you see like a drunk guy on the train, and then I always move.
Right.
So it's like, okay, that's racist, but it's a survival mechanism.
It's a survival thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like,
That makes sense.
You can't hate on people for being racist, but you can try and see why they're so afraid.
Yeah, you can try to understand them. Yeah.
Don't be scared, bro. Don't be scared. Well, sometimes you gotta be scared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. Remember that one, like, speaking of social clusters, actually, two funny stories. So the first one was when we were driving back from the north. Remember, where did we go? We went up to the native reserve.
Okay, yeah.
And, like, driving back, stopping at the Tim Hortons, and it was just, like, all Caucasian people. We got out because I had to, like, use the bathroom.
Yeah.
I was like, this really feels weird. It really did, though. Like, people
Well, see,
like,
like,
oh,
this
bro,
is-
that's racist of you. You're making this assumption. I'm like, no. I could feel it. I was like, this is a little weird.
Right.
Like, it's so weird for all of us.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
just use the bathroom. I'll be on my merry way.
Mm-hmm.
Because on top of that, like, the way I was dressed.
Right.
You know, it's like, so the second story is like,
I don't know, man. I feel safe around white people.
no, totally. No, I do too. No, I'm not saying, no, I don't say that. I'm not saying that I felt unsafe. There's no threat of harm. We could just feel it was palpable. We're all just like,
Right, they're gonna
what
look
are
at you
doing
because
here?
you look different.
What are you doing here?
Right.
Okay, sorry, I had to pee. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
It's not racist, and like the assumption is racist. No, it's not. It's like these things are palpable.
Yeah.
You can just feel it. And then the other funny thing is like, so we live in North York, having like tattoos or dressing the way I do, wearing the fanny pack thing it's not weird here.
Yeah, it's normal around here.
Like,
Yeah,
dude,
right.
you think this is weird? Look at what the other Koreans are wearing with their like I love their style though. It's so sick. You know what I mean? They're wearing that the shark.
I gotta say, I like Kim Jong Un style.
That's very minimalist.
Yeah.
I like it. It's like a uniform. It's like Steve Jobs. Every day the same thing.
Yeah, I like it. It looks cool.
Yeah. Honestly, like, you know how people are like, I would never shake that person's hand. You know, like the thing, like, you know, people are like,
Yeah.
you know, they're just like, I would never want to be in a room with that person. They're so bad. Like, oh, Trump's terrible. I wouldn't watch. I would be like, I wonder what that's like, bro. Like the way, especially now that I'm hitting 30.
What do you mean they're bad? I
You've
think,
never heard that before?
No,
People are like, oh,
I've heard that, but it's like these are just talks, and it's always good to have talks. I think. And no one. I mean, he did kind of like make this. He's the first president to even sitting president to even.
Maybe he
go on.
chose to do that 'cause he's like, I'll be legendary, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's also part of his election thing, right?
True, yeah, for sure.
I think a lot of these moves are part of that. Like, oh, he's actually trying to bring peace, so vote him in again.
Oh, that's pretty smart. Yeah, true.
Outside of the bad, like if he went
Genius.
to again, if he went to, I think if he went to war with Iran, he might not win because people don't want that.
Yeah, no, nobody wants war again.
Yeah, but then he ran on saying that he wouldn't go to war, right? Or he would bring everyone out.
Right.
So like if he did attack, I think it could have been a bad outcome for his election, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no war things. Like, nobody likes that anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was I saying about the...
just talking about that, like someone, like the Democratic debates were on also last week,
Okay, yeah.
and someone said, one of the Democratic guys said like why we need to stay there. I'm like, that's the wrong answer. You're gonna lose
Stay
in
war? Oh, man.
Afghanistan, or like we have to, keep them in control, like the Taliban.
Wow.
But then like one of them had a really good, I think Tulsi Gabbard had a really good rebuttal to him. He's like, Taliban were already there before us,
Haha, touche.
and they will be there even after we leave. So
But-
there's no
so-
point in staying there. And then he's tried to bring up like, so his facts were wrong or something. Like he brought up like, oh, but they're going to get powerful and attack us. But it wasn't Taliban that attacked us. It was
But,
Al Qaeda,
alright,
and we already took out the Al Qaeda.
Okay, bro. How are they going to get powerful and attack you if you cut
That's
off
what
their
I'm
supply
saying,
chain?
yeah.
No, if you cut off their supply
Okay,
chain.
right, yeah.
It's like they need to fund their guns.
Yeah.
What, do you think they're just going to magically appear like a drone?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to sell that drone to them, bro.
Exactly.
It's all commerce.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
just
yeah.
like cut off the legs of, what was it? Cut off the head of the snake or something like that. Whatever. Just like cut it off at its legs, and then it's like it's done.
Yeah.
You know, like I find like it'll never,
Like
maybe you never
like
know.
we've been
Like,
there. Well, not me as in us. It's America that's been there for like over 15 years now.
1.5.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the longest, and a lot of money used up for that.
but again, it's like we don't know war economies, right? Like
No. I know. I'm just
I think even Trump.
I'm
he
just
came out
saying in the
that.
general sense to win, you're not going to win saying that. And like even if Trump did that, he's not going to like if he attacked Iran, I don't think he's going to win again.
No, but I think they played on Joe Rogan saying like how Trump said it's like a war economy, like the war machine.
Yeah. He's I know he said that. Yeah.
So it's like it's all economic. It's all
No, I know.
business.
But to win again, he won't win again if that's the case.
The platform, yeah,
Yeah.
because the majority.
You just
don't
can't say those
understand
sort of things. I know it's going to be difficult to even get out of this stuff because it's just it's already been planned out. Like all these countries, it's interesting if you watch some of these old interviews, what they've said.
Oh, I've seen that movie too. I've seen that movie too, where they. Oh, I think it was American Made. Was it
Yeah,
American Made?
I don't know.
And at the end, they talk about like all the different countries that they're going to go into.
Maybe, yeah. I think there was an actual like general that's not there anymore. I think in one of the interviews he mentioned he got a list of countries that was before, way before like we even touched Syria.
All right, here's the crazy part. Businesses all the time are thinking strategically. We have like short-term and long-term plans, right? You have like the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan, 20-year plan. These are like goals and objectives you're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Right? You don't think governments are doing that? Like, that makes no sense.
No, of course.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, but you're.
Oh, but it's not also that though. It's like yes, they are, but they're also thinking in the dollars that they're getting donated from, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
if they're getting paid by oil companies, they're only going to think in what oil companies need, right?
Totally. Yeah.
But not necessarily the benefit for the country.
Again, it's all right. So like, let's just swap this out. Substitute. So the oil company is the consumer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are providing a service. So the country is like the business.
Yeah.
Right. So if the country is providing a service, i.e., allowing you to build in their country, you have to adhere to the demands of the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you and I were like, oh, I'm not going to buy Apple products anymore because you took away this feature.
Yeah.
They're going to bring that feature back.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, the power is in the hands of the consumer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but the consumer is the oil company because the consumer is basically the one providing the revenue to keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
again, business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like.
But it's interesting. We'll see what happens because there's a shift in what's happening there, right? Like when Bernie ran in 2016, he ran on just people donation, right? Not from corporations, right?
Yeah, but no. Again, right. But so a consumer in the business perspective is just somebody who's going to give you money.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so the oil people aren't going to give me money. I'll just go to the other end consumer who's going to give me money.
Yeah.
You fund me to do something for you.
Yeah.
Right? That's all business.
So
though.
in a sense, people are funding him to do what people want him to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're just playing.
I know.
You're playing to the minority.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, or yeah. So it's like
it's interesting the shift. Like one thing I noticed in the Democratic Party now, like last time you can tell the shift. You can tell not a shift. You can tell the difference between Bernie and Hillary.
okay.
Now they saw the populism rhetoric working. A lot of
Let's
them
all jump on board. It's
a
like
lot of them are talking the same kind of way.
it's like when
So
the
then you
touch
get
screen-
then you get confused like who's really genuine and who's
yeah,
not.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's like the touchscreen. It's like as soon as like or tablets, they're like, oh, Apple's got these touchscreen tablets and they're so sick.
Yeah.
We all got to come out with one now. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, again, business, because that's just human nature is just the cultivation of business.
Yeah.
Or business is the cultivation
right.
of human nature, whichever way you want to look at it. But like, you can't escape business,
Mm-hmm.
commerce. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if like I don't know. It's just like it's weird
Mm-hmm.
to think about what level of understanding you need to be at to accept that as a fact.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
a lot of people still harbor like altruistic views on like life, but it's like life isn't altruistic.
No. That's true.
Life is a perspective that you decide to attach to. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Will racism ever go away? Probably not.
Probably not.
Will the entire world be educated? Probably not.
No. Not the entire world.
You ever see that movie Elysium?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that. Yeah, you're gonna have like these elevated classes and then like the poor people.
Yeah, it's kind of already happening, but yeah.
Yeah. As a final note, I thought this was interesting because me and my cousins were talking about it. Everyone talks about how like the West is like amazing cities, but it's like, have you been to Asian countries or like even Dubai? I hear is like amazing.
City-wise, yes.
We have these like inaccurate perspectives on like how great the West is when it's like, no, we're actually lagging behind in like a lot of countries.
In some ways, yes. But Western world, why do people still come here though?
Because it's the right playing field for globalization.
Yeah.
It's the global marketplace. That's why the real reason why the West is so important is not because of all the advancements we have here.
Yeah.
Because in Asian countries, they have way more advancements. In like Dubai, I'm sure they have way more advancements. But what it is it's like this is where we all collectively get together and we trade things.
Yeah.
That's why everything is in USD currency. Like that's the global trading dollar.
Yep.
Why? Because it's the platform.
Yeah.
Not Canada. Oh.
Yeah.
Series on. But not Canada. But we get lumped in because we're part of the NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement.
Well, not anymore. It's US.
Oh, really?
MCA?
Wow, I'm so behind on the times. It's not even a thing anymore.
No, I mean it's still kind of like NAFTA, but they don't. That was the whole trade thing that was going on between U.S., Mexico, and Canada. Like people didn't want NAFTA in America.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
But now it's USMCA.
All right. Wow. See, look, they're just flexing their power. We're gonna put our name in there.
Well, that's Trump. Trump was trying to do that, but yeah.
What is it? USMAGA?
USMCA.
MGA. Make America Great Again. MAGA.
Oh, MAGA.
US MAGA.
Oh, what?
No, just trolling on the acronyms. But you know what I'm saying? It's like we think that it's almost like we got sold this idea of like, yeah, you guys are the best. Yeah, we all want to be in West. Yeah. But we're gonna stay in our countries that have like way sicker products.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys are the best.
Yeah.
But it's really just like where we come to trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perspectives.
Also, their money's actually no. I think Dubai's money is higher. I don't know, but like
I would assume.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or euro is the highest, I believe.
The pound.
Oh, the pound.
Yeah, it's like
Not
double
the
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, which makes sense because Britain was the one that propagated the whole world thing. Because like U.S. came from Britain, so of course the pound would be higher.
Yeah.
See, but nobody's talking about Britain being the greatest city in the world because they're trying to sell us the idea of like, oh no, the West is the best because that's where we trade things.
Mm-hmm.
So stay in your little pocket. You know what I mean? Like, we can't grow anything here. We have no history here.
Not yet.
But like, you know what I mean? It's like if you look at everything, everything's being built from the ground up.
Yeah.
Because
well, here, yeah.
there's no.
I mean, in North
America.
America.
Yeah, North America. Yeah.
Yeah.
We like kicked out the original people from here
Right.
to like build our platform of commerce.
Yeah. It'll take another 1,000 years to have some kind of.
But in 1,000 years, it'll be like
It's
just a
different.
whole new thing.
Yeah, it'll be a whole new thing. I know, but
if you look at the reality of the situation, it's like it's almost like, okay, guys. So like, you have all like if this were like a game, you'd have all the players on the outside being like, okay, we need a place where we can collectively trade our goods. This place looks uninhabited, but there's a lot of people there. Let's just kick them out. It's all good. They can't fight back. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what happened. But again, goes back to gangs and commerce.
Yeah.
That's like the secret of the world.
Cops
Like,
and
you know?
robbers. Yeah.
But you know what's
The same
funny?
kind of-
It's like gangs are also playing the exact same game,
Yeah.
but the bigger gang, which is countries, is like, yo, no, this game's already filled, bro. You
Yeah.
can't come up. We got to keep you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like then that's why you have a black market, which is like Hell's Angels and like the Yakuza and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And but you know, I was watching this Vice thing, and like the Yakuza are an accepted thing now. They have like stores with like the Yakuza marking. It's like, no, this is owned by Yakuza.
Yeah, I mean they want to. I don't think
Legitimize.
Yeah, they want to legitimize. Yeah,
What was that thing in Godfather? It's
makes
like
sense.
in the movie Godfather, it's like you always want to go straight.
Yeah.
You start off like making illegitimate money, but you always want to go straight.
Yeah.
You want to essentially join the bigger gang.
Yeah.
You know,
The one that's legal.
Yeah, the one that's
The
legal. It's
gang,
crazy.
the gang of leaks.
Yeah,
Legal. Yeah.
the legal gang, and it's like, it's all it is, though. You know, like you ever see that meme where it's like gangster, like there's like a picture of like gang members, and it's like gangsters, and then underneath it's like businessmen, and it's like the real gangsters. You know?
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like yeah. Be on Wall Street. That's the legitimate.
Like perfect
Gang.
example when the 2008 crisis and they
Yeah.
got bailed out.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, the bigger gang's like, no, kind of messed that one up, but we're gonna let that slide.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of reprimand. You know, it's like I don't know if this is real because I'm not in a gang, but like if you fail your mission as a Crip and they just like beat you up, they're like, it's all right, you can come back, but we're just gonna give you a little scolding. You know, parallels.
Or they convinced the government that we're bigger. You need us.
I think that's really what it is, though. It's like the
Yeah.
gangs that are in play right now. It's like you can't mess up the equilibrium. You know.
Because this is what works right now.
Exactly, and it's like that's why I don't believe that. Like,
And it's also what we only know.
for a long time, like I was agreeing with Joe Rogan when it's like, oh, we should vote for our presidents,
Okay.
and like I was even championing that while I was in school. I was like, you know, like government systems don't make any sense because we should have like local governments, small governments, whatever. And it's like, but you're just restructuring the power system. It has nothing to do with voting.
Yeah.
Like, no, voting is like the illusion of like, you know, like how do we make people believe that their choices matter while all of us are like really calling the shots behind the scenes?
Yeah.
It sounds so conspiratorial, but it's not.
No.
It's just business.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not a negative thing. Like, I don't hate the system. It's like, I feel like I gotta throw that out there so I don't get in trouble. But it's like Guy Ritchie, you know? He's like,
Yeah.
don't hate the system. Like, just understand the system, accept the system, move on into the system.
Mhm.
Like, this is how we, like, without these quote unquote gangs that are in play, we wouldn't have this podcast.
Yeah. No.
You know, you gotta respect the ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you guys,
Mm.
you know, give respect where respect is due. Put some respect on my name. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
No, I think that's right.
I'll leave it with I don't know.
Sometimes that's the right answer.
Yeah. All right. So
Until we get more information.
true. And then even then we'll still say
Probably.
I don't fully know.
Yeah.
I know a little bit more than before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if that's true though, because like
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
how
it's true.
much of a staunch belief system I had before, and it changed. But I think that's the thing. It's like adaptability is key. You need to be able to like adapt to these different paradigms that come in front of you. If you're always gonna like stay in your corner and be like no, then the world's just gonna pass you by.
That's because things change and you get more information and you should be able to change with that. Like, I think if you just stay in this one staunch belief, then it's just like religion. Then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like idealism. It's like a control mechanism at that point. If you're not able to like let go of a belief system,
Yeah.
then you're being controlled,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like even if everything in your entire body is like, no, this is wrong, but you're still gonna stick with it, that's like the saddest thing in my mind.
Yeah.
I could never, like, personally, I could never live life like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could probably hide it, but it would just like eat
But it's
away
gonna
at me.
it's gonna eat away at you, grind you. Like it's gonna eventually.
That's why I always change things. You know what I mean? Like as soon as I'm like, it's enough.
Right.
Like I've had enough. Like I just put out this article about a master. It's called a master of none, and basically the idea is like I've had these amazing teachers in my life, but it's like Alexander the Great. What I assume is his quote, but like
Maybe.
having a specific teacher
Yeah.
limits you to their shortcomings.
Yes. Yeah.
So just have no teacher, and then you're limitless.
Yeah.
You know, and like.
I mean, yeah, that's funny. That's one of the stories in one of the character story in Hinduism, I think.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Maybe that's where it's from. It's not actually
Yeah.
Alexander the Great.
Like that was an exact thing. Like he became, like the teacher wouldn't teach him, so he taught himself, and he became better than
Exactly.
the best guy that was there. from
Right.
that
Totally.
teacher.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think that's how you achieve like a free thinking society.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to agree with what we're saying, but just understand that that's what we're saying.
Right.
And it's like, no, this is what, like everything I say, I truly believe. You know.
Yeah.
But I couldn't imagine being in a position. Well, I have been in those positions where it's like, I could stay here,
Yeah.
but this is gonna make me go crazy, and I could already feel it, so I nip it in the bud. You know what I mean? It's happened so many times, and it's like, Tara, like, well, she said it before, but it's like, you're a phase person, because I get so dedicated into things.
Right.
Right? Think about like how many things I've done in my life that I'm like obsessed with.
Yeah.
You know, and like then at the drop of a hat, I'm like, all right, enough, because it's like I don't want to be controlled. I just wanted to learn.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then like, but then in doing that, you have people who are controlled and are like trapped, and then they're like, bro, I thought you'd be here forever, and it's like, no, because I don't live my life in a box.
Right. Yeah.
You know, or maybe I do, but the box that I have has collapsible walls.
Right. Maybe. Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
It's
know
like,
what you're saying.
yeah. I feel like if you don't have that skill or that ability, you'll forever be lost and controlled.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I think so.
And then I wrote at the end of that article where it's like, if you find something that you're like, oh, I look to this guy to like learn something from, it's like cool, but always move on. Like don't be like, oh my god, forever you will be my like, that's so dumb. You know what I mean? Like that's how you get cults, bro. Like I don't want a cult.
True. That's true.
Although I was with some, well, I've been in
Huh?
2 cults,
Oh.
2 attempted cults. It's just like, oh man, well, not really. They're not really cults. I mean, everything's a cult technically. Put some respect on my name. always got to treat it with respect, you know. But you know what I'm saying? It's like you shouldn't limit yourself, or else you'll never realize that you are a limitless being, and that's what they really mean. At least I think that's what they really mean.
Right.
You know, and they're like, "Oh, you're limitless." It's like, yeah, but we put boxes on ourselves. I'll never be able to do this. You just don't want it bad enough.
Right.
That's a big thing, right? It's like I just don't want it bad enough.
That is huge.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like people are always like, it comes down to 2 things. Either like, oh, I guess at the end of the day, it's one thing, desire. Like, how much do you want it? But it's like either laziness or like self-delusion. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could do it if you really wanted to. You just don't really want to do it. You're taking the comfortable path.
Right. Yeah.
Which is like, if you want to live that way, sure. But then, is this me being racist towards people that choose the comfortable path?
Yeah. Maybe.
You were so into that firefight right now?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right. Let me re-ask.
Re-ask that.
If you're listening to iTunes, Vish is like really into a firefight, which is like a shootout right now, and he's about to die.
Yeah,
so he
I just
doesn't want to
died.
die. All right, cool. So let me ask you again.
Yeah.
So me feeling this way towards complacent people, is that racist?
Yeah, to complacent people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? So you can't escape it. You can't escape it.
Well,
like,
it's a different word, right? Race itself means racist means to the race. I guess
Alright,
it's a
so,
different
like,
kind of word. But like I know what you mean. Like it's
like the idea you could it's just I'm making a sound with my mouth
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
making
yeah.
the sound of racism,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
no, the concept of racism, you were being racist towards complacent
a type of people. Yeah.
a type of people.
Yeah.
So it's like you'll never escape it because I just did it. You know what I mean? Bro, I'm not racist. Okay. If you don't think so, like maybe you're just being taken advantage of.
Maybe,
I don't know, or
yeah.
you're deluding yourself.
Ah, true.
One of those. Yeah.
Possible. Yeah.
Actually, okay. Final
What?
thought.
Okay.
Do you think that the material, the T-shirts that are sold at Walmart, are less good than the T-shirts sold at the Gap?
Well, I think the assumption is Walmart is cheaper. Yeah.
It's racist, bro.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like I just proved it. If you honestly think you're like, no, I'd rather buy a shirt from Walmart than the Gap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sorry, vice versa. Sorry, I'd rather buy a shirt from the Gap than Walmart because Walmart's got cheaper products.
Yeah.
That's racism because it's like, hey, you're being racist towards the company now.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you know? You don't actually know.
Right. It's
You
true.
look at the tag; they're both made in Bangladesh.
No, that's true. That's very true.
You know what I'm saying?
I just made a racist comment.
What?
Yeah, like I just made a racist comment saying like not like
That's very
that
true.
Walmart is.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like the sound that you make with your mouth to create a word
Yeah.
is you're looking at the superficialness,
Mm.
whereas you should look at the real principle, the substance behind it, which is like what is really going on.
Right.
And we're all racist. We just don't like to call ourselves racist because that's a negative term. But you're being racist to people that are using that term. You know what I'm saying? And that's a feedback loop.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So try not to be as racist this week.
Yeah.
But you can't help it. So
Can't help it. So
enjoy the day.
don't worry about it.
Yeah. Till next time. These are your Socratic gamers.
Yes.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.